Have you ever known what to say in English? Have you ever known the grammar rules and vocabulary, but when it's time to speak, your mind goes blank? What should we do? How to stop freezing when you speak English? In today's episode, we'll talk about this issue, and also I am going to teach you my best techniques to solve this problem. Welcome to Clear Voice English. I'm your instructor. If you want to improve your spoken English fast and also learn English step by step, then you're in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss out any videos. Now let's get started. First of all, let's understand why we freeze while speaking in English. Well, there are two main reasons. First, you might think too much about grammar rules and making mistakes. When you overthink and worry about being grammatically correct, you put a lot of pressure on yourself. As a result, instead of speaking naturally, you end up focusing on your pronunciation and whether you are saying things correctly. This conscious focus on correctness makes it difficult to produce language spontaneously and fluently. Second, many students are not prepared for the first few moments of a conversation. They know what to say in the middle of a conversation, but they struggle to find the right words to start. This lack of preparation causes an initial pause or awkwardness, especially if you don't know the typical phrases for opening a conversation. This unpreparedness can make it challenging to kickstart a conversation smoothly, leading to freezing or hesitation in those crucial first moments. Now that we've talked about the core reasons behind this common issue, let me share with you 4 key techniques to overcome it. The first technique is called automatic openers. These are simple, easy-to-remember phrases that allow you to open the conversation without putting too much effort or thinking too much about the conversation. For example, when you meet someone for the first time, you can use, "Hi, nice to meet you," or "Hello, how are you?" These phrases are so common that we don't even think about them when we use them in English. That's why you need to practice them until they become automatic. Automatic openers can be used in almost any social situation, and they will help you start conversations smoothly. So practice these phrases until they become second nature to you. Here are some more examples for you. The second technique is visualization. This means creating a mental image of yourself speaking English fluently and confidently. When you visualize yourself speaking, you actually trick your brain into thinking you are really having a conversation. And since your brain doesn't know the difference between a real conversation and a mental one, it starts to rehearse and prepare you for the real thing. This process helps you reduce your anxiety and fear of speaking English because your brain has already practiced the conversation in your mind. To visualize yourself speaking English, close your eyes for a few seconds and imagine yourself having a conversation in English. Imagine yourself as being fluent and confident. If possible, try to visualize the whole conversation, including the other person's responses. The more you visualize yourself speaking English fluently, the more confident you will become. This is a very powerful technique that has been used by professional athletes and performers for years. For example, before a big game, successful athletes will visualize themselves making the winning play. They do this to get their brains and bodies ready for the actual event. Similarly, famous actors and actresses will visualize themselves delivering a perfect performance before they go on stage or in front of the camera. By visualizing their success, these individuals train their minds and bodies to be prepared and confident in high-pressure situations. The same is true for speaking English. By visualizing yourself having a fluent and confident conversation, you can reduce your anxiety and improve your chances of having a successful conversation in real life. The third technique is called time boxing. This means setting aside specific blocks of time to practice speaking English out loud. The idea is to start small, just a few minutes each day. Then, as you get more comfortable, you can increase the amount of time you spend speaking. It's important to be consistent with your time boxing practice. So set a realistic goal for yourself. For example, you could aim to speak English out loud for 5 minutes every morning or evening. During your time boxing sessions, try to relax and enjoy yourself. Don't worry about making mistakes. Just focus on getting your ideas out. You can talk about anything you like, such as your hobbies, your work, or the weather. You can also use this time to practice some of the automatic openers and chunks that I'll be sharing with you later in this episode. The great thing about time boxing is that it allows you to practice speaking English without the pressure of a real conversation. This can help you get your thoughts together and make it easier to start speaking English fluently and confidently. And the fourth technique is chunk training. In my previous videos, I talked about the importance of learning common words and phrases. However, to speak English fluently and naturally, you also need to learn common word groups or chunks. A chunk is a group of words that often come together to create a common meaning. For example, get along with is a chunk that means to have a good relationship with someone. Another example is look forward to, which means to eagerly anticipate something that will happen in the future. One of the biggest problems that English learners face is that they tend to learn words in isolation without considering how those words are used together in natural speech. As a result, they struggle to link words together to form coherent sentences, and their speech sounds choppy and unnatural. On the other hand, learning common word chunks enables learners to speak more naturally and fluently because they can use these chunks as building blocks to construct sentences quickly. Instead of trying to translate each word individually, learners can simply insert the pre-memorized chunks into their speech, resulting in smoother and more natural communication. To learn common word chunks, you can read books or articles written for learners of English. You can also listen to English podcasts or watch English videos and try to identify the common word chunks that native speakers use. Once you've identified these chunks, practice using them in your own speech. At first, it may take some effort, but over time it will become second nature. Remember, collecting around 50 to 100 chunks is enough to equip you with a natural toolkit for conversation. So start with a smaller goal like learning 10 new chunks per week and gradually build up from there. Now let us put everything together and look at how all four techniques can help you stop freezing when you speak English. First, when you use automatic openers, you reduce the initial cognitive load of starting a conversation. This gives your brain more resources to focus on keeping the conversation going smoothly. Second, when you visualize yourself speaking English fluently, you decrease your anxiety and fear of making mistakes. This mental rehearsal helps your brain prepare for real conversations without the pressure of actually having one. Third, when you time box your speaking practice, you allow yourself to get into a rhythm of speaking English regularly. This consistency helps your brain develop habits of fluent and confident speech. And fourth, when you chunk train, you equip yourself with a repertoire of ready-made phrases that flow together naturally. This eliminates the need to think about grammar and vocabulary on the spot and allows you to concentrate on expressing your ideas clearly. So, my friends, there you have it. If you follow these 4 techniques consistently, you'll soon notice that you're speaking English more fluently and confidently. You won't freeze or hesitate as much because your brain will be better prepared for conversations. You won't be so worried about making mistakes because you will all be focused on expressing your ideas clearly. Also, you'll have a lot more fun speaking English because you'll be more relaxed and confident. Remember, fluency doesn't come from one big breakthrough. It comes from small, consistent actions. So keep practicing, keep improving, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself. I believe in you. I know you can do it. Keep going. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it useful, please give us a thumbs up. Share it with your friends and leave a comment below. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss out on any of our videos. You can also follow us on social media for more English learning tips and resources. Thank you for watching and see you next time.